Welcome everybody. We are again here today and we're talking about relationships, and these topics that we're discussing today are your questions. I got all these questions from Instagram and they are about relationships and how we can deal with them, and especially with challenging moments in our relationships. So today we have a very challenging moment and we're talking about breakup and how to deal after breakup. My name is Vesa Sarandopoulou and I'm a psychologist. So it is a very painful moment. And I don't know anybody who hasn't gone through a breakup in their life. And I don't think we can escape that. Why? Because, it's not something that we can control. Relationships, we cannot control them. We cannot guarantee that all relationships will succeed. And another thing that I usually say is that we don't know anything about relationships. We have only seen one relationship, and actually not all of us, which is our parents' relationship. And that's the only example that we have. So we don't know anything else other than that. So taking that into consideration, the fact that we don't know anything about relationships and nobody teaches us, I still insist that relationship lessons should be at school. And nobody teaches us about relationships. Of course, it is possible that some of our relationships in our adulthood are going to fail, or we're not going to do the right things, or we're not going to find the right person. It's normal and it's expected. It's supposed to happen something in a similar way. So it is a very painful moment, and it is followed also from it's followed by a painful process. It's something that lasts really long to get over and to heal from a breakup. And when we say breakup, we mean any kind of separation, breakup, divorce. And actually that process of getting over and recovering from a breakup is like a roller coaster, an emotional roller coaster. And I can tell you a few emotions and feelings that you're going to feel, and you will understand why I call it an emotional roller coaster. So some of the things that you are going to expect to happen and to feel during after actually a breakup: shock, anger, disappointment, rejection, embarrassment, disillusionment, guilt, betrayal, confusion, stress, fear, relief, denial, despair, hopefulness, hopelessness, loneliness, fear. I think I said fear twice. Probably that's very important. So all these things, imagine you're not feeling them all together, but they come in waves. And there's one day that you feel relieved, and the next day you feel stressed again, and the next day you feel angry about your ex or angry about yourself. So it ebbs and flows all the time. And that's why I say this process takes time. We have to go through all these emotions and we have to make the most out of it, and we have to understand why we're feeling all these emotions. And it cannot help if we put the lead on these emotions. It cannot help. We cannot process anything if we just say, well, just move on. You don't need to deal with that. Don't think about that. Find another person and you will forget about it. No, it doesn't help. Because usually what happens is that if we move on too fast to the next relationship, we will inevitably project some of these unresolved issues to the next partner. And that's not fair. So what we need to do is, first of all, process these feelings. These feelings are there and they're for a reason. So we need to understand what is happening and actually validate these feelings and accept these feelings and normalize this feeling. It's normal that you're feeling upset because your partner left you. Of course, it's normal because you have invested all these years and all these emotions and you have made dreams for the future. It's normal that you're feeling angry. I don't think that this is wrong. It's normal. So it's another thing feeling angry, of course, and it's another thing how we express it. So validate these feelings and listen to them. Make room for these feelings. And this is how you process it. And this is also what I do with my clients when we do therapy. We just only figure out the strategy how to find the next partner. No, we stay there with the feelings and we process them so that the person who explains them and expresses these feelings can feel relieved, can put these emotions and these experiences in the right box, archive it and move on. Review the relationship. That's also another thing that it's very important to do. look back at the things you liked about this relationship and the things you didn't like. What we want to do is, after we move on from one relationship to another, or to singlehood, is that we want to leave this relationship through a healthy closure. We don't want to leave that relationship with resentment and feeling that, like, I will never forget how I wasted my years or my time with this person. No, we want to, of course, understand these feelings, but at the same time, remember that we also like that person, and we also had some nice and happy moments with that person, and we don't regret that. We don't want to regret that relationship, even though it was not the best one, even though it was not the healthy one. One way or another, we got something out of it. So we want to have a healthy closure, and that's something that not the other person, but us, we do that, and we offer that to ourselves. What do you take with you? That's what we want to understand from this relationship, even if it's something that not the other person gave it to you directly, but something that you learn out of this relationship. Another thing that we want to do is to accept that this is painful. I don't want you to imagine that there's somebody going through a breakup and it's not painful. Even if the person itself that decided that this is the moment that we break up and took the decision to break up, still it's painful for them. I run divorce support groups for years, and I see both the people that rejected and also the people that were rejected in the same group, and they have the same pain. So don't think that the other person that left you is not sad or doesn't go through a painful process. Of course they do. Any loss in our life is painful. Accept also that it's not your fault. Whatever happens in a relationship, and if a relationship doesn't work, is the result and the responsibility of two people. It takes two to tango, as we say. So it's both of you that created that, or didn't help the relationship, or didn't help the relationship to survive. So it's both of you. It's not only your responsibility. And with one way or another, you both contributed into this relationship not working out. Accept also that we cannot control another person, even though you did your best, even though you tried hard. There's a big percentage of relationships that we cannot control. We cannot change them. And that's it's something that we need to accept. And also accept that it takes time to move on. Don't pressure yourself like, oh my God, it's 6 months. Why I haven't moved on? It's 1 year. Why I haven't forgotten about her, about him? No, it takes time, and each one has their own unique way to process a breakup. So don't put an extra pressure to yourself. Another thing that we want to do is, and that's very, very important, re-identify yourself. You're coming out of a relationship where you have been identified as a couple. You have been doing many things together. You have designed your life together. So now you need to re-identify yourself and focus on yourself. That's something very important. Focus on you, not on your ex, not on what people say or want from you. Maybe your family, maybe your friends push you to move on and find another person, and come on, you're going to forget it. No, you cannot push yourself if you don't want to, if you don't feel that you're ready. Focus on you, what you need and what you really want. If you want to stay alone and if you want to take your time, you have every right to. And sometimes I hear people saying that, what if I see my ex and they are already married, but I haven't moved on and I'm still stuck here. We don't care about your ex anymore, remember? They can do whatever they want. It's you. You need to focus back on you. And you are doing actually what you think is best for yourself. So that kind of mindset, we want to stop focusing on what my partner and comparing myself with my partner, ex-partner, all the time. Also, another important thing that you need to do is rebuild your trust in relationships. Remember, in the beginning, you were not. The first thing that I usually hear from people is that I don't want to be with anybody anymore. I don't want to meet anybody else, and I'm not going to trust anybody. So first, it's a very important task to rebuild your trust on relationships and fill in the gaps. The gaps in your life that somebody else occupied when you were together. Now the moments that you were watching TV together, the moments that you used to do puzzles together, all these moments are empty. So now it's your task also to fill in these gaps, and filling these gaps with things that you like now and things that give your life meaning. One last thing is, I also encourage people to stay single before they move to the new relationship. And even though that's something scary sometimes, it's really important. If you want to move to a new relationship, first you have to process the previous relationship. And I know, and I really acknowledge that it's really scary. And sometimes people think that, oh my God, but time passes and maybe I'm not going to find anybody, or I don't want to be alone forever. I need to find somebody else to be with. I know that, and I understand that. And we all have this need to find somebody and connect with somebody and enjoy all the privileges and all the joys of being in a relationship. But it has to happen in the right timing. So allow yourself to grieve, to build yourself up again, to pick up your pieces, to connect with yourself again. And when you're ready, I'm sure that you're going to find the person who is also ready to be with you. Otherwise, it's just a vicious circle of meeting people who are unavailable because I'm also unavailable, and I'm not ready and they're not ready. So, I know it's a painful process. And that's why the most important thing is that you take care of yourself. And that you heal first before you meet another one and you enjoy being loved again. Take good care of yourself. Relationships are hard, I know, but we are here and we're going to discuss them as long as it takes, so that we build the healthy relationships that we deserve. Take good care of yourself.